And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Division 2 race of the Mobil1 Cup Series. We are here at Lowe's Motor Speedway for race number 11 of the Season 3 Mobil1 Cup Series. Today, we end up having 41 more drivers trying to win a race here, and as I mentioned in the Division 1 race, all eyes, they're now set on the chase, which will be coming up in 4 events after this one. It's going to be Wolfgang Mason on the pole for this race. Nice to see Wolfgang and Ralph back after they were in Le Mans during All-Star Race weekend. They ended up having Mary Cole and Mark George try and qualify their cars into the All-Star Race, but that was not the case, and so they're here trying to get into victory lane in the D2 race of the Mobil1 Cup Series. So Wolfgang Mason is on the pole for this race. Alongside him, Jake Rogers in a new sponsorship. He's got McDonald's still on there, but he's sponsoring the 2012 London Olympics on that race car until the Olympics are over. Dylan Poteet is going to start this race off in the 3rd position. Alongside him, that's going to be David Burton in the 42. Richard Johnson and Kenny McCurry, they make up row 3. Our points leader, not our points leader, but a guy who could take the points lead, Arnold Columbia. He's going to roll off from position number 13. Remember, he's got to finish 35th or worse to not leave as the points leader. If he finished in 35th, he would leave as co-points leader. We're going to have to see what's going to happen with the 53 car and all the rest of these drivers as well. We got some championship contenders that are in the top 10 stands we'll be keeping an eye on today as well. As here is the starting lineup. Car will peel off. We'll put them under the green flag for 40 laps of racing. It was Jack Richards picking up his first Mobil1 Cup Series victory last night. Let's see if anybody else will be able to do that here tonight. The green flag is out. Wolfgang Mason gets us underway. Dylan Poteet, Richard Johnson, they're there as well. We were talking about some championship possible chase contenders that are trying to stay inside the top 10 heading into next week's race. Well, let's list them for you here as this battle for the lead continues to rage between Wolfgang Mason and Dylan Poteet. We got Arnold Columbia, of course. He comes in second in the standings, only 7 points out of the points lead. Then you've got Amy Nathan, also in this. She is third in the standings. Sean Gallion comes in 5th in the standings. He's in this division. Also, Jake Cole, he is 8th in this division. Then you've got Tony Speed. He comes into this race 9th in the standings. He's also in this division. And also, Alan Tanker in the 75. He is 10th in the standings as we speak. He is also in this division as well. So we'll be definitely keeping our eyes, especially, I would think, on Jake Cole, Tony Speed, and Alan Tanker, because a bad finish for them could knock them outside of the top 10 in standings, depending on where those other drivers ended up finishing. Here's our first battle for the lead. It's going to be between Richard Johnson and Wolfgang Mason. Richard Johnson in the Snap-on Chevrolet Corvette going to go to the inside, and he will take the top spot, looks like, coming off of turn number 4. Jake Baskinger, he's now going to battle for second. Let's see if this race is going to play out the same as it did in the other races. It seemed like the battle was normally for second than it was for the lead. And speaking of lead, we may have a points leader heading into next week's race. Being different, Arnold Columbia, he's up to 3rd right now. He seems to want to be up front here so he can leave as the points leader heading into next week's race at Chicagoland. Tell you another driver who certainly is going to want a good run that's in the back of this field right now. That's John Dillon. Or not John Dillon, I'm sorry. Make that Dylan Young. Dylan Young is a Chicago native. That's his home track. And a victory here could certainly give him some momentum heading into the Chicagoland race or a good top 5. And Looks like the caution is waving. Yes, it is. Richard Johnson's going to lead us under caution, and the caution is out for Callum Wales in the 40. Red Bell has also sustained damage, and also Alan Tanker, 10th in the standings. Rear end damage to that Lilly Trucking Ford. That's not going to be good for Alan Tanker. He has sustained some damage. There's Tony Speed. He's got some right side damage, but doesn't look like anything real fatal. I would, however, question the damage to Alan Tanker. As the caution is out, the leader under caution is going to be Richard Johnson. Let's look back and see what happened to put us under the caution for the first time today. Well, they got 3 wide here, and I'm going to venture a guess that maybe Red Bell down there on the bottom line slides up into Tony Speed, then collects Callum Wales and Alan Tanker. Oh, I'm good. That's exactly what happened. And look at Jake Cole. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's Jake Cole, Tony Speed, and Alan Tanker. Those 3 drivers we were talking about that are 8th, 9th, and 10th in the standings, they almost all 3 were involved. But the one that sustained the most damage out of all of it was Alan Tanker. And then they were able to actually settle it out and continue on. But Alan Tanker sustained some damage. Tony Speed has some right side damage. And Jake Cole almost got some damage in that as well. That would have been the drivers who come in 8, 9, 10 in the standings. Those real critical spots, especially in this part of the season. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. And I don't think anybody retired. Nope, everybody is still in. So all 41 cars are still on the racetrack and still on the lead lap after making repairs to their damaged race cars. Richard Johnson leads the way. Let's go through the field here. We got Johnson leading. Arnold Columbia, definitely the points leader right now. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. What's going on? What's going on with the leader, Richard Johnson? We saw reminiscence of this in the Division 1 race with Joe Smith having problems. That car is not under power. Something's going on with Richard Johnson. I don't know what it is, but the leader has got problems here again, and this is the Division 2 race. We saw Joe Smith have problems and have to make an unscheduled stop in the Division 1 race while leading the field, and Richard Johnson, something's amiss on that car, will catch up with it. Right now, he's being scored as the leader, though. Second is Columbia. Third is David Burton. Fourth is Dunn LaPrade. Fifth is Jake Baskinger. Sixth is Jake Rogers. Seventh is Wolfgang Mason. Eighth, Danny Wells. Ninth, Cole Daly. And John Castle is 10th. Ralph Mason 11th, Dylan Poteet 12th, Jacob Lawler 13th, Sean Galligan 14th, 15th Wolfgang Vettel, 16th is Matthew Rodriguez, 17th Kenny McCurry, Aaron Williams is in 18th, 19th John Worry, and 20th is Amy Nathan. 21st is Hiroshi Kato, 22nd Zach Carlson, 23rd is Ryan Juke, 24th Barney Ward, and Dylan Young completes the top 35. So I guess that the leader is going to be I guess it's going to be Arnold Columbia. Yeah. As Richard Johnson, let's try and find him. He pulls into his pit stall here. And he's got an extended stay on pit road right now. Something is going on. Maybe something electrical in that car. I don't know what, but that's a tough break for Richard Johnson. As the battle is on for the lead, Dunn LaPrade wants it. Arnold Columbia has it. LaPrade to the inside. And Dunn LaPrade is going to go for the top spot. Dunn LaPrade, he's going to take the top spot. Dunn LaPrade, he's got a little bit of momentum coming into this. He ended up winning one of the Mobil Open races and got himself into the All-Star race for the Mobil1 Cup Series. Here comes our pole sitter, Wolfgang Mason, back to the inside. He'll take second from Columbia. Jake Rogers, outside pole sitter. He'll take third from Columbia. Columbia's starting to fall back now. If Columbia falls back, gets involved in a wreck, and ends up finishing 35th or worse, he will not leave as the points leader. 35th would end up making him and Michael Harvey tied for the points lead. 36th or worse would have him being 1 or more points behind Michael Harvey. And I hear a wreck in the back! I don't know if Columbia was involved, but we're going to find out. It's Dunn LaPrade and Wolfgang Mason and Jake Rogers. That's the top 3 coming down here to the caution. Let's see who was involved in this. Oh, Red Bell again. Adam Rose gets a piece of it. Oh, Bill Raymond. Heavy damage to the Bass Pro Shop Chevy. And also Callum Wales may have gotten some of it. John Castle's involved. And there you see Richard Johnson back on pit road. I wonder, I don't want to point fingers or make a wager this soon, but I'm wondering if Richard Johnson, when he came back up the racetrack, if he came up into those race cars. We're going to find out as we're under the caution for the second time today. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but I just think this is kind of uncalled for. Watch right here. Richard Johnson, he comes back up the racetrack. He really should have just waited for everybody to go on by, but he's a slower car. He comes up here, and there's just nothing that John Castle can do. He runs into him. I don't think Richard Johnson should have merged at that point, quite honestly. And you see here, Johnson ends up making contact with John Castle, and Castle's going to come down. He's going to hit the inside retaining wall. And then John Castle, he's got no control over that race car. That car's going to slide back up the racetrack. Bill Raymond, absolutely nowhere he's going to be able to go. He gets involved right there. Pichu London, he gets a piece of it right there. Look at Dylan Young somehow maneuver his way through there. Adam Rose, he runs into it as well as he gets caught up in it. And but that's just really an unnecessary wreck, I think. I don't see what the point was of Richard Johnson merging right there when he knew he was a lap down. And there was just nothing John Castle could do. He's trying to look out around the car he was trying to pass, and all of a sudden there's the 92 right in his mirror. And everybody else, they're just trying to find their way around. And there's Bill Raymond. Heavy damage to the Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shop Chevy, number 83. As we're under the caution for the second time today for what I believe was an unnecessary caution. Now, pit stops were made, and so they now have fresh tires. And just to clarify, by unnecessary caution, I'm not meaning that it was unnecessary for NASCAR to throw the caution for that wreck. I mean it was unnecessary that that wreck even took place in the first place. That really was a wreck that should not have happened. And so Richard Johnson's going to have a little bit of explaining to do after this race is over to several of those drivers. Those drivers include Pichu London, John Castle. That's both of the Nemco Motorsports cars taken out in that wreck, along with Bill Raymond, Red Bell. They retire. Richard Johnson's retired as well, and so you can bet he's going to have some company either in his trailer or down in his pit box of those drivers wanting an explanation of why he made a move like that took them out of the race. Adam Rose, he was involved as well. He has gone a lap down to the leaders there in the Hellman Chevrolet. He is listed 1 lap down. Dunn LaPrade, first on, first off on pit road. He will lead us to the restart. Cole Daly second, Wolfgang Mason third, Ralph Mason in fourth, Jake Rogers will be fifth. Sixth will be Dylan Poteet, Matthew Rodriguez seventh, eighth, Arnold Columbia, Aaron Williams up to ninth now after that pit stops were done, and in 10th, that's David Burton. John Worry 11th, 12th Jake Baskinger, 13th Zach Carlson, 14th Jacob Lawler, 15th Wolfgang Vettel. The rest of the top 20 are Amy Naton, Barney Ward, Danny Wells, Hiroshi Kato, and Sean Galligan. Back to green flag racing we go. Dunn LaPrade leads the way. Cole Daly second, as all the cars will go around the slower machine of Adam Rose. You see him move out of the way. That's exactly what I think Richard Johnson should have done. True, he was up to speed with the rest of the cars, but he was not up to speed with them in the fact that he was coming off pit road. They had been under a green flag run. So it's going to be now a new second place car. That's Wolfgang Mason trying to finish off this race where he started, but we still got quite a ways to go. A total of 34 laps remaining in this event. Actually make that 24 laps remaining. Not going to add on more than we need. As now it's going to be the Masons battling for second. Ralph Mason goes to second place. Third place now Dylan Poteet, Matthew Rodriguez up here into fourth. When's Ralph Mason going to make a move on Dunn LaPrade here? He's looking to the inside off turn 4, but can't make the move yet. LaPrade's driving out of his rearview mirror as well as out of his windshield to try and throw the block. Now he won't be able to block that one. Ralph Mason way down to the inside. LaPrade moved up the racetrack, and new leader, Ralph Mason in the 93. Here comes Arnold Columbia back to the inside for second there. He's still remaining up here inside the top 10. That's what he's got to do in order to leave Lowe's as the points leader heading into Chicagoland. Here's Ralph Mason. He'll lead a lap. We're getting close to halfway point. One more lap and we will have reached halfway in this event. Only a total of, I believe, 4 cars out of the race. There may be 5. Yeah, 5 cars out of the race. If you just joined us, Pichu London, John Castle, Bill Raymond, Red Bell, and Richard Johnson. They have all retired from this event. We've had only 1 wreck. No, 2 wrecks. We've had 2 wrecks that have put us under the caution flag twice. The first one, no drivers retired. They all got the damage fixed as Arnold Columbia will go to the lead. You got to think that Columbia is not only thinking about maybe winning this race, but he's also thinking about that he has to be consistent, has to be conservative in order to make sure he leaves as the points leader. Top 5, they're all single file there. Columbia, Wolfgang Mason, Ralph Mason, Jake Rogers, and also Wolfgang Vettel makes his appearance into the top 5 in the 46. As he now goes underneath the 47 of Wolfgang Mason and takes the 3rd position away. Sorry about that. Arnold Columbia still continues to lead. Right now it's very spread out. And single file as well. Well, not for long. Here comes Wolfgang Vettel. He'll be the first challenger up at the front. Is he in the... I don't know, what's that sponsor he's got? Something like Fruit something... Fruit Ninja. Yeah, Fruit Ninja. Never heard of it before, but nonetheless, he's got that for his sponsorship, and he's trying to catch up here now for the lead on Arnold Columbia. There's a gap between himself and 3rd place Wolfgang Vettel. Whoa, 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 look out! Slow carve, Adam Rose up ahead. Vettel, he's got to get around Columbia. Columbia's got to get around Rose, and now Columbia gets held up behind the lap car of Adam Rose. To the lead goes Wolfgang Vettel. Jake Baskinger to 2nd. Matthew Rodriguez 3rd. Dunn Laprade 4th. And Hiroshi Kato moves into 5th. Wolfgang Vettel leads the way now. 2nd is Baskinger. Matthew Rodriguez 3rd. We told you the top 5. Sean Galligan's now up to 4th. Or make that 6th, rather. Where'd I get 4th from? But Galligan, he comes into this 5th in the standings. We know that Stephen Dillon ran into some problems in the Division 1 race. Sean Galligan could pick up position number 4 in the standings here with a good run, and right now he's in position to do so. How about David Burton? He's into 7th. 8th, Jacob Lawler. 9th, Cole Daly, and Danny Wells now 10th. He's got Dylan Young all over the back of him for that spot. Dylan Young driving the number 44. That's a new make. He's now switched over to Toyota, and he's sponsored by the sponsor that sponsors him over in the Snickers Cup Series. That's Bandit Wood Chippers. So, new sponsorship for the 44, and he's driving it to a good run right now, currently in 10th place. Back up to the front, though. The lead is about to be contested. Wolfgang Vettel has it, but here comes Dunn Laprade, Hiroshi Kato, Sean Galligan, and Matthew Rodriguez starting to put a pressure on the number 46. Wolfgang Vettel, this is only his 2nd or 3rd start in the Mobil1 Cup Series. He ended up replacing Joey Dawson, who ended up replacing Alexander Dawson. That ride's been swapped around to several drivers. How would it be if that ride actually went to victory lane, though, here today? It could happen, but he's got company on the back bumper, Dunn Laprade. He's looking for his first Mobil1 Cup Series victory. As he is all over the back bumper of the Fruit Ninja Chevrolet. Matthew Rodriguez, he's looking for his 2nd win of the season. He won earlier on the season. Sean Galligan, he's looking to become the first driver this season to win in all 3 series. He's won in the trucks, won in the Snickers Cup, but he's yet to win the Mobil1 Cup Series. He, along with Dylan Young, and I think you can add Sean Henley to the list now after his Truck Series victory. They're trying to be the first driver to win in all 3 series in a single season. Season 3, that is. I think Jacob Lawler can also be added to that list. He's just a Snickers Cup Series win shy of winning in all 3 series. So you got quite a few drivers that are trying to do that. Dylan Young and Sean Galligan, they're in this field trying to win here tonight. That could end up clinching them that prestigious title of winning all 3 series in this season. But speaking of Dylan Young, he's actually moved his way up to 6th place. Man, that 44 car is fast. He and Sean Galligan, they're vying for trying to use this race to be able to be the first driver to win in all 3 series in Season 3. But right now, Wolfgang Vettel leads the way still. 2nd place, Matthew Rodriguez. 3rd, Dunn Laprade. 4th, Galligan. 5th, Jacob Lawler. And 6th is Dylan Young. Jake Baskinger there in 7th. As the battle's on for the lead. Matthew Rodriguez gets to the inside, and he'll go to the top spot in the Fastenal Ford. Sean Galligan, he'll try and challenge for second. 10 laps to go here in this event. The laps are ticking down quickly. See if anybody up ahead for these drivers to have to contend with. Adam Rose, he's off turn 2. The field's coming up on him. This could be bad news. He already has caused some problems for Arnold Columbia and others. Let's see if these guys are going to catch up to him in time and be able to get around him. Here we go. Columbia, or make that Rodriguez. He gets around. Everybody's splitting the 8 car. Whoa, oh, Cole Daly got into him. Oh, no. Cole Daly ran into the back of Adam Rose, and the caution's not going to be out for that. Oh, man, Cole Daly was on to a good run. Look at the crunched race car of the 36. Oh, my goodness, look at that. He's got to get that car down to the inside. Look at Barney Ward. Whoa, Barney, what are you doing? Woo! Down on the apron goes Barney Ward. And it looks like Adam Rose is going to come down pit road after getting nailed in the back by Cole Daly. But Cole Daly, what a shame. He was 8th last time by, and he just ran into the back of the number 88. New leader, Sean Galligan, in the Aspen Dental Toyota, looking for his first, or making it his second, Mobil 1 Cup Series victory. His last one in the Mobil 1 Cup Series comes all the way back at Homestead, the last race of Season 1, when he won in the 99 car for Roush Fenway Racing. Right now, he's out in front. Jacob Lawler, though, he's looking for his second victory of the season. In the 39, he won, I believe it was at either Pocono or Atlanta, I can't remember which, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's going to go to the front. This is not only trying to win the race, but this could give him 2 wins this season and put him in the prime position of getting one of the wild card spots in the chase for most wins. But it's going to be a challenge now because Matthew Rodriguez is back to the inside with a total of 6 laps remaining. Dylan Young, he's coming into the picture here in the Bandits Wood Chippers Toyota. Also Dunn LaPrad's there. Jake Baskinger, don't count him out. He could be heard from before all is said and done. Wolfgang Vettel is still in this as well. He's been out in front for a few laps here today. As Sean Galligan slips back to 6th, but he could mount a charge as well. Here's Dylan Young all over the back bumper of Matthew Rodriguez with a total of 5 laps remaining in this event. Here comes Young to the inside. Dylan Young trying to pick up his first ever Mobil 1 Cup Series victory. And if I'm not mistaken, I would think, yeah, this win, if he got it, it would make him the first driver to win in all 3 series. He won in the trucks at Talladega, won in the Snickers at Atlanta, and he's looking to win here at Lowe's. As a matter of fact, I think, as Wolfgang Vettel goes to the inside here, but I think it would be the first driver to ever win in all 3 series in a single season in the shortest period of time. Don't forget, we had Talladega, then Pocono, then Atlanta, and now Lowe's. That'd be 4 race weekends that he would have at least 1 win in all 3 series in a single season. That would be incredible. But here comes Galligan trying to run down Wolfgang Vettel. His wins, I think his Truck Series win ended up coming back at, it was earlier on in the season. It may have been at Phoenix. It could have been at Las Vegas, though, as well. I can't remember where. But then he also had a Snickers Cup Series victory at Quarter Slammer. He's yet to win this season the Mobil 1 Cup Series. He's trying to run down Wolfgang Vettel, who's got 1.5 laps left before he could get that 46 car to victory lane for the first time this season. How would it be for a ride that has had 3 different drivers this season, in the first half of the season alone, as Wolfgang Vettel takes the white flag? He's got no challengers. He's home free. It looks like he's got about 6 car lengths between the battle for second between Dunn LaPrade and Matthew Rodriguez and Jacob Lawler. Wolfgang Vettel, he's just got to keep it clean and drive it to the checkers. Wolfgang Vettel, how about this? The 3rd driver to get into that 46 car. Looks like he's going to pull it off. They just recently got sponsorship from Fruit Ninja, and off turn 4 for the final time, Wolfgang Mason pulls off a major upset. Wolfgang Vettel is going to win the Ritz 400 version 2. Unbelievable. What a great race for that team. What a momentum boost for that team. A team that has had to overcome so much adversity. That ride started out with Alexander Dawson, it then moved to Joey Dawson, and then moved to Wolfgang Vettel, who now puts that ride in victory lane. And I'll tell you what a celebration there's going to be between Wolfgang Vettel, Alexander Dawson, and all of that high-octane racing team as he goes to victory lane. And where does Arnold Columbia finish the day off in? Let's find out. 12th place, so he will be our points leader heading into next week's race at Chicagoland. There's your new points leader, the number 53. If you were in the Division 1 race, your standings are coming up, as well as those that were in the Division 2 race, as well as the finishing order for this race. Wolfgang Vettel pulls off the major upset at Lowe's and wins the Ritz 400 version 2. Thanks for watching the NNSCRA Sports channel, offline racing at its best.